All right, so good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in from across the continent and beyond. My name is Jesse. I'm here with Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. And if you're joining us for the first time, which a lot of you are today, then we are all about bringing conservation, adventure, and science into classrooms around the world. Now, this is just our third program back in 2024. We did 400 of these together last year. So a big thank you if you're joining us again. And if you're new, well, then buckle up for some really cool adventure. Now, everything we do goes to our YouTube channel. So if you want to check this out in 3 weeks, in 3 years, if you want to share it with mom and dad or friends, you can absolutely go there and do just that. Now, over the last few months, I was really thrilled. I was trying to find all these new stories, new people to come on and share their expertise and their knowledge with kids like you. And we found Dr. Agnes. So she is at NASA, and specifically, she's the science lead for something called the Globe Observer Program. Citizen science is something that so many of you classes know, hopefully you're actually taking part in. As kids nowadays, you can take part in actual science, contributing to make the world a better place. That was not something you could really do when I was a kid. So you guys are a really, really lucky generation. And Dr. Agnes has explained a little bit about her amazing program, her backstory, and explain how you can go involved in actual science when you're done this broadcast. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to the program, Dr. Agnes.
Hello there. Welcome, everyone. This amazing show, Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. Thank you, Jesse, for inviting me here. My name is Dr. Agnes Pasco Conaty, a science lead of the Globe Observer Program at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. And I would like to show first my family, and I want to thank them with great love and gratitude. The one on the left side here is my grandfather, Lolo Julian, and the one on the right, and I'm the little girl there, and the one on the right is my family, my mom and dad. We call them Ima and Daddy, and my 2 brothers, Noel and Reden. Okay? And that's me. I'm the youngest and the only girl in the family. And right here on top are my numerous nieces and nephews. My mother is right there, and my 2 brothers right here and here. And they are actually in the Philippines. That's where I come from originally. And I believe one of you here is from Australia. And you have the same time zone. So you are currently right now in early morning. And just want to introduce them to you because I owe them a lot to where I am right now. So let's get started with the Globe program and citizen science. But first of all, aside from working at NASA, I also teach college math and environmental science at several colleges and universities in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And I also mentor citizen science and nature journaling. And that's one of the topics I'm going to show you how to do today. And aside from that, during my free time, I'm a writer, artist, and photographer. I contribute to newspaper in some local areas here. And so let's go take a look at what you can take part in, being part of something big this year. Okay, so I'm going to introduce to you what citizen science is and what Globe program is. Citizen science is just a volunteer participation to gather data so that all over the world we could see the data from, let's say, Philippines, from Australia, from Minnesota, from other parts of the world, and contribute them to science. And right where you are with your cell phone, in our case, for the Globe Observer program, and you can share them to different parts of the world. And the program I'm in is what we call the Globe program. GLOBE stands for the Global Learning and Observation to Benefit the Environment. Some of you probably heard about Globe because it has been in existence since 1994. In fact, this year, we're going to celebrate our 30th anniversary. Can you believe that? It has been a long time. And it actually monitors the Earth's various spheres. So you probably know the biosphere, the living parts of the Earth, and the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, and pedosphere. Pedosphere is just the first few inches of the geosphere, which is the land part. All right, so let's take a look at how we do it. You go explore, go outside, okay? Go outside when you can, of course. With the given weather right now, we cannot go outside for a long time. And GLOBE has more than 50 standard scientific protocols. These are procedures that's common to all of us doing the work of gathering data. So it's the same, and more than 127 members of countries all over the world participate in the GLOBE program. And in 2016, GLOBE has added an app, which is the Globe Observer app, which I'm going to tell you later how to get it. And it has 4 main protocols: observe clouds, mosquito habitat mapper, getting mosquito larvae, and then land cover, and tree height. These are the 4 major protocols right now in the app. And occasionally, there is an eclipse protocol. As you will know, we will have a total solar eclipse in the continental United States this year in April 8th, and I'm so excited for that. And I believe that in Australia, since one of you here is from Australia, you had one recently, this April of 2023, the total solar eclipse. And you know what? And our next solar eclipse that will be viewed in the continental United States will be 20 years from now. So it's a big deal. And so we will discuss that later on. And we had also the annular solar eclipse of 2023, April 8th. Unfortunately, since it was so cloudy here in the northeastern part of the United States, we were not able to see anything, but we were able to see the videos and photos taken by other people from other parts of the United States. So be more outside. That's the key thing here. Okay? To get observations, you have to get outside. And the good thing is that the Globe Observer app guides you through the process. Its visually enriched instructions and tutorials help to get data, and also 4 directional photographs, north, south, east, west. And it's easy to do. And once you get hold of that app, you can get started with it. And the data is normally stored in your cell phone. And later on, when you want to share it, you can submit it to the GLOBE database, and it's available to the rest of the world. And what's the advantage of citizen science? Being part of it means to be more outside, to get more fresh air, enjoy the view. And of course, when the weather permits, you can do that a little bit more. And I'm showing here some of the pictures of our Globe Observer program doing citizen science and environmental, actually the educational and public outreach. The ones that are in this photograph are taken from the Smithsonian Folklife Festival in Washington, D.C. 2 years ago. And that's my family there, my son and my husband. Okay? And this is the GLOBE program, the Global Learning and Observation to Benefit the Environment. And that's the logo of the GLOBE program on the left, top left here. And this is the Globe Observer program, which was introduced in 2016, just recently, about almost 8 years ago. And the program is sponsored by NASA, and that's why we're here at the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, and supported by 3 major organizations. One of them is the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, and the other one is the National Science Foundation for the funding part. And the Department of State is involved because it involves several countries aside from the United States and Canada and Australia and the Philippines. Those are part of the countries involved in the GLOBE. And implemented and support, and the management is by the University Center for Atmospheric Research in Colorado. Okay, so it involves a lot of organizations. All right, so now how do you get the app? That's a good question. The top left QR code is for the Globe Observer program, okay, and the bottom QR code is for the GLOBE program. And you can get the app through the Apple App Store as well as the Google Play. You can that's where you can download the app. All right. And this is just a summary that it was launched. The Global Observer program was launched in 2016. It involves 4 tools and participated by over 150,000 people. And you can be part of that group and enjoy citizen science. All right, so these are the 4 protocols involved. And I'm gonna introduce them in the context of which ones came first in the app. So the Globe Clouds was the first one to go in 2016, followed by the Globe Mosquito Habitat Mapper, and then the Globe Land Cover Protocol, and the last one was the Globe Trees. So I will introduce each of these one by one, so you will know how to take part in it. So the app walks you through data collection. So aside from taking data, you also take photographs, and you can compare observations of what you get with satellite data. As you well know, you probably know NASA more for the satellite that goes to space, okay? And the next one that will actually go is what we call the PACE program, which will launch this early February, I believe. And PACE is one of those satellites that NASA launches to get data to monitor the Earth. So you will see here on the left, this is the observation taken by the satellite that's on the space. And then you have your own observation, and you could actually compare your observation with that of the satellite data. In fact, the cloud protocol people actually could send you an email once you submit your data and matches your data with that of the satellite image. That's, I think, very cool once they do that. And on the right here is the land cover map, okay, maybe taken by Landsat. And this is what you get. A pixel from a satellite image is about 100 meters by 100 meters. And when you choose your location, you want to make sure that you have about 50 meters or so right in front of you, okay, and or around you. And that's equivalent to 1 pixel of a satellite image. A pixel is just like a small part, like a small square on a data picture like this. All right, so this is your data, and that's your satellite corresponding to that satellite image. And this is what you see on your app. So you have the clouds, mosquito habitat mapper, land cover, and trees. Once you have your app, you will see this in your cell phone. All right, so the clouds tool first. So the cloud protocol walks you through observing overall cloud cover. For instance, today, walking to this building, I saw that the cloud cover is about 100% cloudy. Okay, it's actually 100% coverage of the clouds. And the sky conditions, it's either you have the like here, okay? So you have there few clouds and then isolated clouds. You have scattered clouds, etc. And the color of the clouds that you have is milky white, for instance, or when it's like a great day, you have deep blue. And then visibility, okay? You probably will say extremely hazy, okay? On a clear day, you have unusually clear. So all of those can be found on the app. And then you can also take photos, okay? You can take photos if it's just like a very hazy day, then it will all look the same, like a milky white. Okay, so that's what you do with the clouds tool. And these are what you will see on your app once you are ready to take observations. Next, we want to see the mosquito habitat mapper tool. It's basically taking observation of a larva okay, or a larvae, if there are many. So it's a mosquito picture here. You can see, identify the habitat first. So where did you get your specimen from? Is it from a bucket of water that you got from the snow or rain or a puddle or a stream? So there are many ways to get larvae of mosquitoes. Not right now, of course, in the United States. On this part of the United States, we don't get that uh, mosquitoes when it's so cold. But when you are, let's say, in the Philippines or other tropical areas or warmer regions, you will be able to get larvae. And then you also sample and count. Okay, so once you get a, let's say, uh, bucket of water, okay, you will observe. You could see the larvae there. They are kind of moving around. Okay, and then the app lets you know, lets you choose what kind of larva is that. Is that the kind of mosquito that brings? Unfortunately, there's some mosquitoes that bring diseases, and we want to make sure we don't have them in our environment because you see, they are kind of dangerous sometimes. So when you get bitten by them, you don't want to get catch, for instance, Zika or malaria or yellow fever and all of that. So those are things we want to avoid. So we eliminate the habitat of these mosquitoes that bring diseases. Okay, and you will see this one here. You will see that your cell phone actually catches a good picture of a larva. So this is a larva of a mosquito. You can see there the parts of the body. That's the head, abdomen, and the tail. Okay, and some people are scared of that, but I'm sure you will find it interesting. So this is what you see on your mosquito habitat mapper protocol. And then next will be the land cover. Land cover, of course, as I was telling you earlier, choose a location that has a way for you to classify land cover. Land covers that lots of them with trees, shrubs, grasslands, or it's just mainly like dry soil, etc. So, and then you also take photos, okay, 4 directional photos, and you'll be able to see what's around you, okay, and compare that to. You can actually, if you do this frequently and you have a location in mind, you could make like a land cover map on your for your data, and compare that to satellite images, let's say from Landsat, and we will be able to see, compare how the satellite from space looks at the land below, and you will see, compare that with what you have based on how you observe it on the ground. So it's very interesting how they compare to each other and be able to like stitch out your data into a grid like this, okay, later on. So this is how your app looks like when you take part in it. And then next is the trees. The last of the 4 is the trees protocol. Lately, like 2023, last year, we had a challenge. We call the challenge to have a data concentrated in some particular protocol. We had the moon tree challenge, where we were trying to locate all the trees from seeds that came from the Apollo 14 mission. Did you know that the Stu Roosa, one of the Apollo 14 astronauts, actually brought with him a canister of seeds, okay, for I think 4 to 6 different types of varieties of seeds. And he brought them. He didn't land on the moon, but he was the one who actually went around the moon, and his other 2 companions, like, I forgot the names, but they were the ones who landed on the moon. So he brought it back to Earth. Unfortunately, the canister broke, but he was able to go over and deliver them to different parts of the United States and some parts around the world. And so they're now about like 40 years old, 60 years old. And so 40 to 60 years old. So there are many trees around the world that came from that canister. And one of them is the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center Visitor Center area. So anyway, so we have that as part of the challenges for trees. So how do you get participate in the trees protocol? So you choose a tree. So wherever you are, you choose a tree that's upright and something that's like a considerably a tall tree will be good, and measure the angle. So what it does is that when you have your cell phone, you would try to capture the angle of tilt from the top of the tree to your where you are observing, and that has an angle, right? When you tilt it like that, it comes out as an angle. And in mathematics and trigonometry, you could use what we call the tangent. Okay, tangent is the opposite over adjacent. But when you have your cell phone, the cell phone app for trees actually does the mathematical computation for you. So it makes things easier. And then after measuring an angle, so you actually should be a little bit like many steps away from the tree. And then you want to know the number of steps from where you were to the base of the tree. And then the app calculates the height of the tree for you. So if you don't do this with the app, we actually do it with what we call a clinometer. Clinometer is a tool for measuring an angle, and then use your trigonometry that way. And so whichever way you want, you'll be able to estimate the height of a tree of your choice. And so this is how the trees protocol looks like on the app. And then now, solar eclipse. Okay, so I was telling you the total solar eclipse is on April 8th of 2024 this year. And it's a big deal here in the United States in the northeastern part at Goddard. Okay, everyone here is so excited about it. You will see here, this eclipse app protocol is not on the Globe Observer app right now because we just had our annular solar eclipse 2023, okay, in April. October 14, okay? April 8 is over for the total solar eclipse. So right now it's not here, but this is what you see. If you haven't seen an annular solar eclipse, this is how it looks like. It's like a ring. That's why it's called annular. Okay, so this is the moon, and then that's the sun. You know, the moon is between the Earth and the sun in a solar eclipse like this. Okay, and what we see here is the moon. And if you don't actually look at it directly, of course, you have your solar eclipse glasses. So in this visual here, you see this is the path of the moon going around the Earth. Okay, so going this way, okay, counterclockwise as you see it here. And then the Earth revolving around the sun this way, another counterclockwise direction. And when the moon is between the Earth and the sun, it casts a shadow on the Earth. The moon casts a shadow on the Earth, and this part here that's like a conical shape. It's a small part. We call that the umbra. Okay, the inner. This is the inner part of that cone. Okay, and then the outer part is what we call penumbra, and this is where you will see the partial eclipse. The inner part is where the areas of the total eclipse is seen. Okay, and so it's a very narrow width compared to the ones who see it less than 100% total solar eclipse. That's like what we have here in Maryland and Toronto. Okay, you will be able to see 80 to 90%. But I'm going to show you in the next slide where you could find the total solar eclipse in its totality. Like this one here, you will be able to see the solar flares and solar corona. Okay, you don't see that normally because it's hard to, of course, you don't really take a look at the sun because it's really, really bright. Okay, and so let's take a look at the next slide here. Okay, so this is a map from the visualization studio, okay, of Goddard. And they have here the strip of that. Remember that with from the total solar eclipse of the umbra, right? Remember, this is a very narrow area of where the total solar eclipse can be seen. And anywhere outside of that, we'll just see partial. And I believe this is Minnesota over here, and you won't be able to see it, unfortunately. And those from Ontario and this side of Canada will be able to see maybe part of it. Or if you go to New York, okay, you will like a Buffalo, New York, or close to the border between New York and Canada, you should be able to see it. And this is me and my son during the 2017 total solar eclipse. Of course, we also saw it as a partial eclipse. And total solar eclipse will look like that. And I have here the map. It's a video of how you will see it. And let me see if I could show this to you. And in our app, actually, I forgot to tell you that in the app, you will be recording air temperature, okay? And I believe you could also, if you want to, record the sounds, because there will be some changes in the sound. Like, for instance, the animals will be agitated. Like, I believe when I saw my first total solar eclipse in the Philippines, the chicken actually had were the ones that made a sound. Okay, they had a cock-a-doodle-doo, because in the Philippines different. And then the dogs were barking more and all that. So those are the things that you see changes during the eclipse, and it's a little bit cooler. So let me take a look, show this to you. We'll hit play.
I will say a quick note that if there's sound in this, it's not coming through, but the video is playing, Agnes, which is great. And I'm going to make sure that all our classes have this link as well. I think our Minnesota classes, you guys are quite a bit west and north of this, unfortunately, but our Sudbury class, if you just go like an hour south, if you happen to plan for that day, it is going to be April 8th. So it's coming up in a couple months. It's going to be very, very exciting. We actually have another whole eclipse program coming on in late March. So sort of highlight this and showcase eclipses around the world too. And I can tell you, Agnes was already talking about this, but if you get a chance to see an eclipse in your life, it is one of the most amazing natural phenomena you can ever witness on planet Earth. So if you can, make sure you go as a class. I won't tell you to skip class. Just take your whole school. But very, very cool. And thank you for sharing all this. This is great, Agnes. Let's put this in the chat for everyone too. And I will email our classes with our Science NASA clip of where the eclipse is going to be as well. Fantastic.
All right. Let me go back to that where we were. And if you didn't hear, I'm sorry if the video did not have a clear audio. But you will be able to see that with Jesse's help later on. So let me go to the last part of this, which is actually the most interesting part, dance between science and art. So what is this all about? Okay, so if you do your Globe Observer observations with the app, and then what next, right? We are already outside. Might as well enjoy the view and journal. Okay, it's actually recording what you see, what you observe around with a journal. I'm going to show you later on my own journal of how I do nature journaling. Okay, in a notebook where you put details and drawings of what you see. All right, so let me show you here. These are my students from environmental science class, and they have a journal there taken from the United States Botanical Garden, where we had a field trip. And then in most part, we do the journaling at our lab, especially since spring semester is actually very cold in the early part. So I bring to them some specimens, like I have what you see here. I brought some flowers from outside, and they journal. Record your observation helps improve your power of observation. Okay, so it helps you see with more detail what you see outside and bring it in. And then you also can improve your drawing and sketching skills. You don't have to have like a perfect drawing, as long as you sketch what you see, and then you also put in words like the weather, the time, the date, and how it makes you feel, what you see with the details of the flower or a stem or a rock even. Okay, it helps also reduce stress. Okay, we do it on Friday, 3 hours in the morning, and so my students really enjoy being part of that nature journaling and citizen science. And they enjoy the scenery once it's a little bit warmer. We go outside and they observe, like for instance, the cherry blossom festival. Okay, so that's one of the things we look forward to. It reduces stress, it's fun, and you can take part in it, okay, aside from doing citizen science. And so here we end with the various links, the globe program, the Globe Observer program, and then what we do in the Earth Science at NASA and the eclipses. And this is where you can find my bio and what I do, aside from being at Globe program, and various things I do on the side. And so I want to thank everyone here for participating in our Be Outside, the Citizen Science and Globe program, and how you can take part in it. Well, thank you so much. And you can have our question and answer session next.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Agnes. If you want to come out of screen share and exit that so you can see us have a bit of a conversation, please feel free to do that. That would be great. Teachers, I will note, I'll be sending you along all these links so you can check out everything to do with the globe and a whole bunch of other amazing citizen science projects when we're done. So stay tuned for that in the immediate aftermath of this. LaSalle Elementary, Ms. Oak's class, we're going to head to you guys in just a second. YouTubers, if you guys want to share questions in the chat, we will come to you as well, so don't be shy. I'm going to start off with a quick one of my own, Agnes, and that is there a favorite part of all this for you? Like, of the things that you've had the chance to do with Globe, 30 years of this incredible app, and I mean, it's got such a wide array of citizen science projects sort of encompassed in it. Is there a particular favorite of yours that you've seen that kids particularly enjoy, or anything you want to share with us?
Well, I would say the nature journaling part is what they look forward to most, because they actually are interested in drawing or sharing and just being out there. Okay? The part of that is being with the other people in their class and chatting about what they see. And it's all fun, just putting it all in your notebook. And I'm going to show you, okay, how you could do that. I have here my journal. It's a little bit big. I have also a smaller journal, but about a year ago, my family and I went to the Ocean City, the Assateague Island. I think this is one there. And then I have also seashells, of course. What do you do? What do you do in the Ocean City without looking at seashells, right? Yeah. So you see here, I tried to put some descriptions and the time and the date and where we are, and I have here at least a complete month, and it became very busy after a while. So I do it whenever I can, okay, because it helps me distress. Okay, this is the part that I like most. Of course, I introduced this after the fact that I did the citizen science program, but it's an added thing that we all enjoy. I enjoy it. My students enjoy it. So why not do it, right? But among the protocols there, I enjoyed most the trees and being part of that using clinometer. Actually, using a basic tool. And then, of course, since I teach math, the mathematical part of that is getting the sine, cosine, tangent part, right? See, tangent part is the one applied there.
I'll say that when I travel anywhere in the world, I always do a journal. I think it goes such a long way to helping you remember the things that you've seen and you tend to forget. And this is a way of sort of solidifying those memories. It makes it much more impactful, especially if you're doing it for nature observations. Now, I know some of our kids today, you're a little bit ways off from trigonometry, but it is quite amazing that you have that power with that app. And you can use that same principle to figure out how far stars away. You can figure out things when you're building a bridge. It's an exciting math and science tool.
Yes.
I'm going to our Eden Prairie crew, Miss Oak's class. If you guys want to kick us off with a question, and then we'll go to LaSalle Elementary right after that. But come on in Minnesota, guys.
Hi, my name is Eritro, and my question is, how can you use citizen science for more than just helping the environment?
All right. You know what? Okay. The first thing you want is to enjoy it yourself. Okay. Before you share it with others, you yourself will be able to enjoy it with your family. And I always, when I do the education and public outreach events, I do it with families. So let's say you go with your family to the park with your mom, dad, grandparents, and your siblings, and you will be, since I think a lot of you have cell phones, okay, you will be taking the same observation, maybe in different from your point of view. You're gonna take this particular tree, and your sibling will take that particular one, or they take the land cover from this side of the park, and others will take more about the close to the lake, etc. So you will be able to have a family discussion and enjoy it with your own family. And later on, you know what? Those who do this periodically or many times, they will be able to build a data set that they could use for their science fair. You know, they could be useful later on. Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm really glad that you highlighted something there, which is and it's important. You emphasized a lot of the things in your talk about how citizen science can be used with real scientists. It can be used to gain this data, do good for the world. But the essence of it is fun. Like the whole point of this is to make it something that's engaging and exciting for kids, for families, for whatever. And then the benefits of that are just layered on top of that. But
exactly.
At a time, I hadn't used Globe Observer before I met you for this program. I use Seek a lot and iNaturalist. I find they're really cool for finding local wildlife. I use Star Walk 2. That allows me, if I see like a constellation, I can be like, oh, that's what that is. And I can learn more about the universe. So it's just a fun tool that I use with my family and friends. And I think that that's the coolest part of it. Thanks.
Yes, and you know what? Since almost everyone has a cell phone and brings it all the time, might as well use it for something fun like this with your family, right? There you go. You get a chance to download the app. You can share the QR later on, or just to go to the observer.globe.gov. There you go.
There you go. I'll make sure all our classes have that as well. Great question, man. And I'm sorry for the Vikings this year. I wanted it for them. I know you guys love football more than anyone in the world, I think, and I apologize. I'm an Eagles fan. They just lost too. It's okay. LaSalle Elementary, I'm going to head to you guys, and then we'll try and do another round with everyone. But come on in, Sudbury. Hey, folks.
Okay.
Hello.
Reke, let's do. Here you go. Okay.
Hi. Why do you need to wear special glasses during a solar eclipse?
Oh, good question. You know what? You cannot just look at the sun directly. It will really damage your eye. Don't even try it. Please don't. Okay. The sun is so powerful that looking at, you cannot even look at it. So and don't even try, because it actually it just damages the retina of your eye. And so where do you get this solar eclipse glasses? Okay, so in the United States, we normally get them from NASA. Okay, we have the communication office, and the visitor center, we have them. And I'm sure some of the libraries, I think the one in Laurel, they have that. Well, I'm going to check on that. But they normally distribute the right solar eclipse glasses in some of the public libraries. And then you could also get them from some stores that are science-related stores. But there are some free solar eclipse glasses that are designated ones. And I'm sure in Canada you have those too, right?
I was just going to say, I'm so glad that you had the American context, because I don't know where to get them in the States. For Canadians, actually, Science North will have them. I can pretty much guarantee you, Science North, right in the heart of town, is like the best science center in the country for that. They usually partner with the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. So before April, go pick up those glasses and then travel a little bit south, and you'll be able to see it really safely. But the essence is that, yes, it really can hurt your eyes, and your eyes kind of adjust when an eclipse happens. It thinks it's dark, and then you get this full blast of solar energy. It's quite amazing how much damage looking at the sun for a prolonged period of time can do to your eyes. So it's really important you don't stare at it. And I think that's a great question, guys.
Yes.
Agnes, we got time for 2 more questions if we go quickly. So we're going to go to Miss Oak's class, and then LaSalle, I see you waiting there. I'll come to you right after that, okay?
All right.
Come on in, Prairie.
All right.
Hey, guys. Prairie.
Hello. My name is Sophia too. My question is, do you plan to reach out with your app to the unfortunate or those who don't have Wi-Fi access? And if you do, how do you plan to?
Wow, great question.
Very, very good question. Yes. You know what? Here at Goddard, we are actually very keen on that, to share what we have to the ones who cannot afford. In fact, for those who don't have cell phones, in fact, I have some people in my class who don't have cell phones. So what I do is, in my class, I actually group them with those who can or who have, and they share. Okay, they actually share their cell phone data. Okay, and it's not, citizen science is for everyone, okay? And whether you have cell phone or not. So those without cell phones could tie up with a partner with the ones who don't have cell phones, but they could still, let's say you go to the public library. If you don't have a computer, you go to the public library that has, of course, free computer access there. You could even borrow, in our libraries here, we could borrow Chromebooks. And so those who have the library card, everyone can have a library card, okay? And so those without computers or cell phones, they could borrow a Chromebook from the library, and then they could, since the Globe Observer program and the Globe program is publicly available, all the data is available there. So whether or not you have a cell phone, you could access their data and take part in the global data and make something out of it in your math or science fair projects. Okay, so yes, we are aware that many people probably don't have access to these tools, but we try to find a way to get them connected to our data for free. These are for free, okay, and they're available 24/7. So that's how you can reach. That's how we reach out, and that's how I reach out to my students. Those who don't have the cell phones can partner with those who have. And that's one way for us to share what we have with those that are less fortunate.
I'm so glad you mentioned libraries. They're my favorite places in the world. Literally, the reason I have this job, the reason I get to do things with amazing explorers and scientists around the world is that my parents just put me in the library like all the time. You have a beautiful one in Eden Prairie. It's on Prairie Center Drive. And I just found this out. The Staring Lake Observatory you have pretty close to you too. So if you want to do some really cool astronomy programs, they have so much on the go in the town, lots of opportunity. Sudbury's got tons. You've got Science North, Dynamic Earth, and more. Our other folks joining on YouTube, I don't know where you are right now, but message us and we'll find you some stuff that's close to home. But public libraries are free for everyone, have tons of resources, events, and more. And NASA, where there's a physical location around the United States, NASA does a lot of events in the public sphere as well. You can also look for science centers, museums. Universities are widely accessible. So if you have a university or college in your neighborhood, I guarantee, even if you're young, they will hook you up with some cool resources and things to do. So great question. Thanks, Ms. Oates class. All right, LaSalle, one final question, and then I got to go to another program. It's a crazy day. Sudbury, come on in and wrap us up. Hey, guys.
When was the last total eclipse?
Yes.
Are you talking about solar eclipse or lunar eclipse?
Solar.
Solar. You know what? The last one we had was 2017 in the northeastern part of the United States. And it was very cloudy, but we had, as always, okay, there's always the clouds. That's why we actually monitor clouds. But if you've seen that picture from my presentation, that was me and my son, that was 2017. And the next one, of course, is this year. That's about 7 years ago. Okay, the 7 years, between that. And the next one after that, you know what? That's 20 years from this year. So
Wow.
by that time, August of 2040. Okay, I'll be very old by then, but you will be able to enjoy that.
So go now is the point. Go while you're young. I will note, I'm just going to put this on right in front, eclipseguy.com. He's the guy that we bring on for our Eclipse program. So if you're really keen on eclipses and you want to see some amazing footage of that one from 2017, which is like when you guys were toddlers, which is exciting, check that out. It was incredible. If you've never seen an eclipse footage or pictures or how animals behave or how people behave, it's crazy. It's so much fun. I can't encourage it more. Agnes, this has been so much fun. Time flies when you're having fun, so I've got to wrap up here. But I will note, if you want to see the next eclipse, April 8th, the Observer Glow program is here. Get the app. I'm going to share all this with you in an email in just a minute. And of course, we'd love to have you join in for more broadcasts. Check us out on our website. Head to check out this one on YouTube. Lots to explore and discover. Agnes, thank you so much for your time and enthusiasm today. And I'm going to bring in our classes to say a big thank you and farewell. So LaSalle Elementary, Miss Oaks Group, thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.